Hey guys, tonight we will gently tiptoe back in time to a sweltering summer in Strasbourg, 1518, where the cobblestone streets shimmer with heat and a strange rhythmic tapping begins to echo. You're strolling through narrow alleys, the scent of horse and hops thick in the air, when suddenly a woman starts to move, her limbs twitching, her feet refusing to stop. It's an involuntary, relentless jig and a historical anomaly you probably wouldn't survive. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is for you. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's relax and begin tonight's journey together. You find yourself in the bustling, free imperial city of Strasbourg, a place teeming with life, trade, and the kind of historical aromas that make you glad for modern plumbing. The summer sun of 1518 beats down, warming the ancient timber-framed houses that lean over the winding streets, almost touching, as if sharing secrets. It's a bit like a medieval theme park, only without the air conditioning or the strategically placed gift shops. People are going about their day, perhaps complaining about the cost of rye bread, unaware that the city is on the cusp of witnessing one of history's most bizarre and tragic events. Historians still debate whether the general stress and living conditions of the lower classes in Strasbourg during this exact period were significantly worse, truly setting the stage for what was to come. Then, you see her, Frau Troffea. She steps out into the sweltering street, and a peculiar twitch takes hold of her body. Her feet begin to move, a hesitant shuffle at first, then a more insistent rhythmic tap against the cobblestones. You watch, bewildered, as she spins and sways, her movements becoming more frenzied, more uncontrollable. The sun glares off the ancient stones as she dances, not stopping for a moment, reportedly for days on end without rest. Onlookers gather, their faces a mix of curiosity and concern. Is she possessed? Is she performing some strange, unheard of penance? Historians still debate if her initial dance was truly spontaneous, or if it was triggered by a specific personal event now lost to the annals of time, making you wonder if she just had an itch she couldn't scratch, literally. A week crawls by, and the impossible happens. Others begin to join Frau Troffea. First a few, then a dozen, then within the blink of an eye, you're looking at what feels like a flash mob gone terribly, tragically wrong. The relentless rhythm of their feet against the cobblestones fills the air, a strange, hypnotic beat that seems to pull at your own ankles. It's a terrifying, almost contagious spectacle. Some accounts from the time even suggest that musicians were brought into play, thinking that if the afflicted could just dance it out, the malady would pass. Imagine trying to cure a fever by turning up the thermostat. Historians still debate the precise psychological mechanisms that caused others to join in. Was it pure imitation, shared delusion, or something more deeply unsettling that whispered to their collective anxieties? The city council and the esteemed physicians of Strasbourg are, understandably, in a panic. You can almost hear them scratching their heads under their elaborate hats. Their diagnosis? An excess of hot blood, which to them explained why people were getting so worked up. Their prescribed cure was to simply keep dancing. Yes, you heard that right. They believed the afflicted needed to literally sweat out the bad blood. They even erected a special stage and encouraged more dancing, like a medieval doctor saying, "Have you tried turning it off and on again, but for your soul?" Historians still debate the true motivations behind the city council's decision to encourage more dancing, weighing their desperate attempts against the grim, escalating fatalities that were soon to follow. The cure backfired spectacularly. The plague reaches its terrifying peak. You see hundreds, perhaps as many as 400 people caught in this relentless, deadly jig. They dance until their shoes are torn and their feet bleed, until their muscles give out and their hearts can no longer keep up. The scene is one of utter chaos and despair. You watch, helpless, as some collapse, succumbing to heart attacks, strokes, or sheer unimaginable exhaustion. It's not just a quirky historical anecdote, it's a mass fatality event played out in a public square. Historians still debate the exact number of fatalities, as records from the time can be incomplete or, let's be honest, probably downplaying the sheer horror of a disco party where people literally dance themselves to death. Talk about dance moves to die for. With medical cures failing so spectacularly, the desperate populace turns to faith. You see the afflicted, their faces contorted, being led on pilgrimages. The legend of Street, Vitus, a Christian martyr, begins to circulate widely. This phenomenon, remember, was already known as Street Vitus's dance, a term for various involuntary movements. It was believed that offending this particular saint was the cause of such uncontrollable gyrations. So people were taken to a shrine dedicated to Street Vitus in Saverne, hoping for a miracle. There, they were given special red shoes, adorned with crosses, in the belief that these blessed slippers would break the spell. Historians still debate the extent to which these pre-existing beliefs about Street Vitus's dance influenced how the 1518 outbreak was interpreted and responded to, a bit like trying to solve a new problem with an old, dusty instruction manual. Fast forwarding to modern times, you stand amidst the quiet contemplation of historians and scientists, far removed from the panicked streets of 1518. They offer theories that sound less like divine punishment and more like grim chemistry experiments or mass psychological phenomena. One leading contender is ergot poisoning, caused by a fungus that grows on rye, a staple grain in medieval Europe. This fungus contains lysergic acid derivatives, which are chemically similar to LSD and can induce hallucinations, convulsions, and intense muscle spasms. Imagine accidentally tripping on your breakfast bread, but instead of seeing pretty colors, you're involuntarily dancing yourself to death. Another strong theory points to mass psychogenic illness, or mass hysteria, triggered by extreme stress, famine, disease, and the pervasive superstition of the era. Historians still debate which of these modern theories, or perhaps a combination of both, was the primary cause of the dancing plague. Slowly, inexplicably, the dancing plague began to wane. The frenzied movement subsided, the exhaustion finally took its toll, and the city, dazed and bewildered, tried to pick up the pieces. You can almost feel the collective sigh of relief, though tinged with immense grief and confusion. The city council, perhaps learning from their earlier attempts at intervention, eventually banned public dancing and music. Yes, the ultimate medieval buzzkill. Imagine the party scene after that. Historians still debate the precise factors that led to the sudden cessation of the dancing, leaving us with a lingering sense of mystery surrounding this most bizarre chapter of human history. The legacy, however, remains a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability to both the unseen forces within our bodies and the collective anxieties of our minds. As the echoes of frantic footsteps finally fade away, a quiet stillness settles over the ancient city. The air, once thick with the rhythmic thud of hundreds of dancing feet and the murmurs of bewildered onlookers, now whispers only the soft stories of the night. You drift away from the narrow, darkened streets of Strasbourg, leaving behind the confusion and fear of that distant summer. It's a gentle reminder of how fragile our understanding of the world can be, and how sometimes the strangest occurrences leave the most profound questions. Let these thoughts dissolve into the quiet comfort of your own space as you feel the soft embrace of your bed. The mysteries of history, like the shifting shadows in your room, gently recede, leaving you with only peaceful warmth. Allow your breath to deepen, your muscles to soften, as you slowly, calmly sink into a restful slumber. Sweet dreams.